Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Profit Connect Wealth Services Investor Call. My name is Jeff Winkler. I am the court-appointed receiver for Profit Connect Wealth Services in the SEC action that began in 2021. Today is June 11th, 2024, and I appreciate you all taking the time to join me on the call today. I just want to give a couple quick disclaimers. Just as a reminder, anything that's said on this call should not be construed as legal or accounting advice, and if you have specific questions related to either of them, I recommend that you reach out to competent counsel to seek to have your questions answered. Just want to go through some general questions that we received from investors, and then we will then give some additional information as to where the case is at this moment. But I think a lot of those questions will be answered as we go through these questions. So the first question is says, I've not been able to keep track of this case since 2022. Can you provide a general update? So the general update in the case is that since 2022, we've done a lot of different things, including filed litigation against some professionals in the case, as well as against financial institutions, including Bank of America and some other credit card companies. Since that point, we've also done a claims process, which was approved by the court, and ultimately the disposition of claims was set by the court just recently. We are actually preparing to file a distribution plan in the next 7 to 10 days. That distribution plan will lay out how we intend to pay claims and then how much money we intend to pay in this first distribution. The percentage as of right now that we believe is that we will be paying out approximately 33% of all claims in this first distribution. And then we anticipate that it'll be at least one, if not two, subsequent distributions after that with further payouts to follow. Second question is, will there be a meeting before the upcoming payment? So this is the meeting that would have occurred before that upcoming payment. Like I said, we anticipate filing the distribution motion somewhere in the next 7 to 10 days. And once that motion has been filed, the court will review it, and potentially hold a hearing, and then ultimately approve it in some form. And once that's been approved, our goal would then be to get those distribution payments out, approximately 7 days or within 7 days of when the court approves that order. It is a quick process, and we understand that people are anxious to get paid. We don't know exactly how long the court will take to review the motion, but we do anticipate that it'll go fairly quickly. And then once approved, like I said, we can get those payments out equally as quickly, if not quicker. The next question is, will there continue to be investor meetings? My plan is, while we're continuing on in the case, is to continue to do these investor meetings once a quarter. If we determine at some point in the future that they're unnecessary, then we may change that. But as of now, we do plan to continue to host these meetings once a quarter. Litigations. What are the details regarding the litigation against Bank of America? Is it progressing? Yes, so as you guys know, we have filed action against Bank of America, and our litigation counsel is currently in communication with Bank of America and intends to have some settlement discussions with them in the near future. The timing of that and what actually occurs, is unknown at this point, but our goal is to try to get that dealt with as quickly as possible. Are you able to provide details on any of the other ongoing litigation? So we do have litigation filed against an attorney, Dale Hayes, and his law firm. That litigation has been filed. They did file a motion to dismiss the litigation, and the court ultimately decided not to approve their motion to dismiss, so that the litigation is moving forward, and we will continue, to prosecute that litigation as we can. Next question has to do with defendants and parties. Have people responsible for this been charged criminally for their actions? As of today, we have not heard of any criminal charges been filed against the individuals. That does not mean that can't change at any point in the future, but as of now, there is nothing currently. There's no charges been filed. Will the person that gave misinformation about the company be held accountable for his actions? Again, whether or not somebody is charged criminally is a decision made by the Department of Justice. And whether or not that's going to happen is unknown at this moment. But we do, but it is possible that could change at any time. Claims. Where can I find the claims spreadsheet that was mentioned on page 2 of document 191? So the claims spreadsheet was attached to the actual filing of the claims motion and what was approved by the court. If you have questions specifically about your claim, or if you're unsure of what your claim number was, you can reach out to the office, and we're happy to get you that information. Next question is asking a question about the status of the refund claim and how that can be found out. So again, the amount of your approved claim, what was included in that document, as well as other communications with my office. We do anticipate that we will pay out approximately 1/3 of approved claims in this first distribution based on the amount of money that we have available and the amount of money that has to be held back for other purposes. But again, there will be subsequent distributions to this first one. As far as when that will happen, again, that's based on when the court ultimately signs the order that we've requested that they sign. And again, that should be filed in the next 7 to 10 days, if not sooner. Can I submit an appeal to the decision in my case? If so, how do I get more instructions on how to do so? So the court has already adjudicated the claims process. If you wanted to have filed an appeal on your claim, that should have been done previously. However, if you feel that any of that was done in error, you will need to hire an attorney to talk to them about what other legal remedies there may be available to them related to that. Let's see. How do I know if my claim has been allowed or disallowed? Again, we would have been in communication with you about your claim, whether it would be allowed or disallowed. It is also included in the documentation that was filed with the court and approved by the court. If you have specific questions about your claim number or about the allowance or disallowance of it, do reach out to the office, and we're happy to walk you through that. Next question, how can I update my contact information or address? You can do so simply by either emailing or calling our office and giving us that new information. Next question, how can I request expedited consideration of my refund? So there is no expedited consideration possible. It is ultimately up to the court when that gets paid. Like I said, we do anticipate filing that motion in the next 7 to 10 days. And from that point, we anticipate the court will act on it quickly. And so our hope is to get money into the hands of investors, by, July or August at the absolute latest. Distributions. Will I have to pay taxes on distribution since there was no capital gains interest made on it? So whether or not you have to pay taxes is a tax question. I will tell you that the money that we are returning is a return of capital. And so based on that, you'll want to use that information to decide whether or not you would have to pay taxes on it. These are not distributions. These are not gains on investment. These are simply just a return of the principal. Will there be any tax documents covering this payment from the receivership for tax filing purposes? Again, since this is a return of capital, we do not intend to submit any tax forms related to interest or anything else returned, since this is not covered by those two things. It is just simply a return of principal. And so there will not be any tax forms necessary with the distribution. What actions do you need to complete before you can start recovery distributions? So again, we just have to file the distribution plan with the court and then wait for the court to approve it, and then we can start the distribution process. As we collect additional sums of money, we will do subsequent distributions at that time. What does the disbursement date of recovered funds continue to be moved? So part of it has to do with the amount of time it takes to adjudicate the claims, have the court hear those claims, and then ultimately decide how they'll be dealt with. And now, as I said, we had to file a distribution motion, and there has to be some estimates that are made, including the estimate of potential taxes owed before we can do distributions. And so that has been what has been holding us up over the last couple of weeks, is just ensuring we have a good idea of what exactly is owed. Will I still get the full balance of the money owed to me that I paid into the plan? The ultimate amount of recovery is still unknown. It's going to change based on how much money we're able to recover from professional fee litigation and other sources. And so the amount and percentage of recovery is still variable at this point, and we don't know what that will be. It will be unlikely that we will see 100% recovery, but again, until those other two things are known, it's going to be impossible to say exactly how much money will be returned. What percentage of initial investment can we expect to get at this time? Last I heard it was close to 40%. So the amount of money that we're currently holding is close to 40% of the total amount that was invested in the case. However, we will have to do holdbacks for administrative fees as well as potential taxes. We do anticipate that the distribution should be in excess of 33% or around 33% of the total amount of claim. If I've moved to a different state, will you notify me before sending the refund? We do not send out notices prior to sending the refunds. The refund check is the notice, in addition to the letter that will likely be included with it. If you have changed your address, we do recommend that you reach out to us before sending out the checks, because it's much quicker to ensure that we send it to you to the right address the first time. Will my distribution come in one payment or multiple small payments? So the initial distribution will come in as a check. Again, we anticipate somewhere around 33% there, and then there will be subsequent distributions to that, and the amount and timing of those is currently unknown. Are the proceedings going better than anticipated in the resolution of the case? Things are progressing in the case. Whether they're better or worse is really hard to say because that's a very fact-dependent question. But but we have filed our litigation. We have won the initial steps in the litigation against the attorney. And we hope that we'll continue to recover from the various different financial institutions that we are currently in communications with. Once distributions are made, will I receive my refund? Who will I receive my refund from? And what does the process look like? So right now we are scheduled to do check payments, and they will come from the receivership account. So it will come from Profit Connect Wealth Services receivership account, and those checks. When that distribution is going out the door, we will send out notice saying that it is coming, and to be on the lookout for it. If you haven't received your check approximately 14 days after that goes out, we do ask that you reach out to us and let us know, and we can determine the status of that check, and if necessary, we can issue a stop payment on that check and reissue it if we do believe it's been lost in the mail. So those are all the specific questions that we had received. I do want to remind you, of course, that you can reach out to our office at any time. You can do so via email at contact@profitconnect-receivership.com, or you can call area code 503-980-3711. And this information is also available in the chat. I would ask that if you're looking for the information and you want to see it, please go in there soon, because once the call goes away, then that information will also go away. The other place you can get information, of course, is our website, which is www.profitconnect-receivership.com. And on there, you'll find all kinds of court filings and other information related to your claim. We do send out emails periodically, letting investors know when we will be doing these calls, when different things have occurred, including, the upcoming distribution process. So I recommend, if you haven't already, that you get on the website and you sign up there. Since we do have a few minutes, I will take a look to see if there are any questions that we can quickly answer. Who from the DOJ can I contact to encourage criminal action against those affiliated with Profit Connect? Since this happened in Nevada, you would want to contact the U.S. Attorney's Office in Nevada. The Las Vegas office, I believe, would be the primary contact there. And you can just reach out to them and let them know the person that you're talking about, and they should be able to assist you there. How long does it usually take for the court to approve a distribution plan once filed? So once it's filed, there's a mandatory 10-day waiting period to see if anybody files an objection to the plan. And then at that point, the court can either take it under advisement and rule on it as it sits, or they may set a hearing. If they take it under advisement, that usually means that they will review it, and if appropriate, sign it within a short period of time. Or if there's a hearing, it's likely that the hearing would be scheduled 2 to 4 weeks after that point, and then the court will usually decide on it at that hearing. Next question, what is the current percentage of clawbacks collected? So I don't have the percentage off the top of my head. I do know that we have been in the clawbacks, and we have actually been successful in recovering some money in the clawbacks from both individuals and also credit card companies, and that will continue to move forward. It is likely we will be seeking permission to file litigation against certain parties who receive money who have not yet returned them yet. When do you think this Profit Connect case will ultimately be closed? A lot of that has to do with the litigation. I would say it's almost certain it will not close in 2024. We have hope that it could be closed in 2025. When exactly that is, we don't know. Again, a lot of it has to do with the litigation that we have ongoing. But once we're able to get that wrapped up, then the goal would be to get that money back into the hands of investors and close the case as quickly as we can. At this point, a lot of what we're doing has been, wound down to just focusing on these few areas that we have left. So you'll see that our billing has subsided drastically, as well as, the amount of work that's necessary. However, we are still pushing on these key issues, and we'll continue to do so to try to collect as much money as possible for recovery to investors. Those are all the questions that we have in the chat as of right now. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to join us. Please do reach out to us if you have specific questions that we can answer. Otherwise, we are always available, based on anything going on. And if you have any information related to any assets that you believe are outstanding with any of the defendants or other, potential clawback targets, or have other information you think might be useful in the case, please do reach out to us and let us know. You never know what we know and don't know. And so if you have information, we just request that you send it to us and let us evaluate it and determine whether or not any of it could be helpful. Again, thank you guys for joining the call, and we look forward to talking again next quarter. Thank you.